timeless voices of the eternal church.
Modern France was the Roman capital of Gaul and one of the most important cities in the empire during the reign of Marcus Aurelius. To it and nearby Vienne came a company of missionaries from Greece and Phrygia, central Turkey, under the leadership of the elderly Bishop Pontinos. These industrious settlers prospered, and many acquired servants and became quite influential. But as often happens when one group thrives, lazy onlookers become jealous and hateful. They spread rumors, charging the Christians with incest and cannibalism. The pagans began to categorize Christians as outcasts, restricting them from certain social settings, the baths, markets, and finally all public places. They claimed that they worshipped their gods in all these places, and the presence of Christians defiled them. Then in 177, while the governor was away, a mob, possibly inspired by the celebration in honor of the Roman goddess Roma, attacked the Christians openly. Their homes and businesses were vandalized, and many were beaten and stoned. In an attempt to restore order, city officials finally arrested and imprisoned the Christians. When the governor returned, he set up public trials, and under torture, many of the servants from the Christian homes testified that their masters were indeed guilty of incest and cannibalism. However, Blandina, a Christian servant girl, refused to sell out her masters. Apparently, she appeared physically weak and was rather plain, possibly even homely. But a letter later sent back to the churches of Greece and Asia about the incident said, Blandina was filled with such power as to be delivered and raised above those who took turns torturing her in every manner from morning until evening. Finally, they acknowledged that they were conquered and could do nothing more to her. They were astonished at her endurance, as her entire body was mangled and covered with gaping wounds. They even admitted that any one of the many tortures applied to her was sufficient to destroy life. But the young woman, like a noble athlete, renewed her strength and received comfort and relief from the pain through her constant confession, I am a Christian, and we do nothing of which to be ashamed. Bishop Pontinos, over 90 years old by then, was questioned and beaten and thrown into a prison cell with a ceiling only 3 feet high, where he died 2 days later. Other Christians were taken to the arena, and for the entertainment of the mob, they were beaten and dragged about by wild beasts, finally being made to sit in a red, hot iron chair until their own smoke engulfed them. Still, they kept confessing Christ. Not knowing what else to do, Blandina's prosecutors hung her on a post in the arena and released the wild beast to eat her. But she looked as if she were on a cross, reminding the other martyrs brought to witness and be intimidated by her torture of Christ who had died for them all. Even the animals shrieked back and would not touch her. Some who had earlier recanted withdrew their denial and confessed Christ anew. Whoever had the right of Roman citizenship, the governor beheaded. The rest he fed to the wild beast. On the games went until 46 Christians had died, either in prison or in the arena. Then, on the last day of a sports event, Church-Blandina was brought back into the arena, along with a 15-year-old Christian boy named Pontius. Blandina so encouraged him by her example that he remained faithful as they endured yet another round of tortures. Finally, he died, leaving only Blandina, who, according to the letter reporting these events, was like a noble mother who had encouraged her children and sent them on before her, victorious to the king. After she had been scourged and exposed to the wild beast again, and roasted in the iron chair, she was at last enclosed in a net and cast before a bull who tossed her about like a ball until she was dead. The mob burnt the 48 bodies and tossed the ashes into the Rhone River, saying, "They despise dangers and are ready to even go to death with joy. Now let us see if they will rise again, and if their God can help them and rescue them out of our hands." Jesus said unto her, "I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this?" John 11, verses 25 to 26.
Reading from the complete book of Christian heroes, over 200 stories of courageous people who suffered for Jesus, compiled by Dave and Neta Jackson. This is the Eternal Church of Jesus Christ, the record.